One of the ideas I have that I would like to test is if it's possible to learn an opening repertoire watching some model games. I don't know if it's possible. I think you viewer will tell me if this experiment is working or not. The beginning I will try to show you 3 games that should entice you to play this opening as black. What is this opening? This is the opening repertoire for black, so that's why you see it from the black side, and it's against 1 d4 or c4 or even knight f3, because that's how you can play the Dutch against these 3 moves, and it will be the Dutch Leningrad system. Okay, the games I want to show you should give you an idea of how to play it, where to put the pieces, what are the important pawn lever, and what are the moves that you should play in that opening in order to win. So this game was played in 2000, in the year 2000, at the Toronto Summer Open between Okkos Jura and Spraget Kevin. Okkos Jura is a master level player, 2283, and Spraget Kevin is a grandmaster, 2501. Someone they say, but how do you show a grandmaster? Obviously a grandmaster win. Well, yes, a grandmaster can win, but at least a grandmaster is a good role model to learn from. And then eventually we discover what white did wrong, and when we know that, then we know when white will go wrong also in our own tournament games. And that's the important thing. So it was d4, f5, c4, knight f6, knight c3, g6. This is the Leningrad system, right? Generally, if you want to play the classical Dutch, this is the formation. And if you want to play the Stonewall Dutch, this is the formation you play. But in this case, we play the classical, the Leningrad Dutch, okay? So g6, g3, bishop g7, bishop g2, castle, knight f3, d6, castle, and this repertoire will be based on this idea that is c6, but in reality in the Leningrad Dutch you have 3 other possible moves, and you say, well, why does it matter? Because sometimes you could be in a match with someone, you could have a recurrent player that you play in tournaments against, and so you want to mix it up a little. The other moves at this point are queen e8, knight a6 or knight c6. Again, they are different systems, but it's worth to understand them, because again, in modern chess, differently from the chess played like 70-90 years ago, we really play more often, both online and OTB in tournaments, and so it's easy to have many games against the same players that will be prepared for our openings. Okay, so c6, bishop f4. This doesn't seem the right square for this bishop, right? Knight h5, bishop d2, and now this is a very important move to realize, because you're taking the center. As you can see at this point, black is already taking the center while white is going back. So at this point, and we are just by move 9, we can say that black's opening has been a success. D takes e5, d takes e5, As you can see, once more, black controls enemy squares, 4 of them. White doesn't really control anything. Okay, so that's a huge difference. And I would say this is good for black. Black is already in having an advantage. Obviously, this advantage, like many advantages in chess, are temporary. They are not forever. So you must be able to convert that advantage into something else. Now, white continue, obviously, doing what? Challenging black center with e4. And this is why it was good. Now you can start to attack the enemy castle with f4. Knight e2, putting more pressure. Obviously, white doesn't want to take, right? And here the possibility was probably to play also g5. But black played queen e7, so putting kind of pressure on this that at the moment is unprotected. Okay, b4. Notice that queen e7 is good for another thing. White could have played this move, taking control of that square and giving some trouble. Instead, queen e7 take control of b4. So if white wants to fight for b4, he must play something like this, but then you play a5 and again the fight is there, right? So this is kind of important. b4, bishop e6, again attacking. Every move you play, especially in the opening, must have two goals. One, to develop pieces, because the goal of the opening is to finish the development of all the forces. Two, attacking the enemy. If you can make a move that develop and attack, that is perfect. Queen c2, knight d7. And this is very important because at this point black has finished the development. When do we say the development is finished? When the two rooks are in contact. That's it. Then of course now it will be a question of seeing where the two rooks go, but black has finished his job and now he must start to think about the middle game. Okay, he should have started to think about it a few minutes ago, but okay. The game, it was played in 2000, so we don't have any problem. So now it's white turn. White tries to do something that at the moment doesn't make much sense. He plays c5. Why doesn't make much sense? Because it doesn't have a knight that can go here and here. And so it would have made sense to try to prepare such a knight to go there. But it doesn't have the right square, so I don't know. Why c5 is good? c5 is good because it gives you an outpost, right? But if you don't have anything to put in that outpost, I don't know how important it is. But black starts his attack on the king side, right? And that's important because, yes, white strategy might be on the queen side, but black strategy is to give checkmate to this guy, and who arrives to checkmate first wins the game, right? So now it's strange because this is a master level player. He plays h3, and he should know that if you play h3 things are going bad. Why? Because you give a hook to black to attack and make your castle weaker. What do you think black played at this point? I mean, it's kind of clear, right? g4. Why g4? Because is the moment that you can take away one defensive pawn, one defensive soldier from the castle for sure with another pawn, so you don't have to sacrifice a piece. Generally, when you have an attack on the king side, you must have an overwhelming majority of pieces because they will have to be sacked on the defensive pawns in front of the king. Instead, here, thanks to this move, it's done. It's done. So it's perfect. H takes g4, bishop takes g4. And now he plays this, g takes f4. Again, this is wrong. Why? Because he played this, right? So if you played this, why you don't continue the attack on there? That's the part that doesn't make any sense to me, no? You want to attack on the queen side, perfect. So this is the move. This is the move, not this. Why? Why would you play this but you are making it easier for him? Because that's the reality, right? You're making it easier for him. I think he made that move because he thought f takes g3, he has two pieces attacking this. That's the reason. But again, it doesn't make any sense because you're making the things easier for black to win the game. So that's why I don't think it was a good idea to play g takes f4, honestly. You're making it easier, like h3. Look now, everything is open. I mean, I wish someone would play like this. Honestly, this is a 1600 playing, not a 2200, because a 1600 let him open, and now the game, to me, it's kind of over. But I don't know. Knight takes a4, knight takes a4, boom. E takes a4, this guy goes up to do what, I don't know. Bishop takes a3, bishop takes a3, and ding, we even have a kind of advantage. Yeah, and notice, I don't know if you notice it, but then notice also these lines. Now this can go here, this can go here. It's a mess, it's a mess. This is a mess for white, in my opinion, okay? My opinion, I don't know. Queen b3. Now queen b3 is however a typical move in the Dutch that is kind of annoying, because once you play f5, this diagonal becomes also that diagonal to attack the king, so you must be careful about that, unfortunately, okay? But again, watch this move. I'm sorry, watch this move. This move in reality is helping black. Why? Because he wants to put a rook on g8, but he needs to have a tempo, right? Instead, like this, you gave him a tempo. Better than this, what do you want? I wish my opponents were always so easy. Rook f1, rook a d8. Ooh, rook takes e5, painful, painful. Queen takes e5, rook d1, and of course, guys, I wish you would pause the video and tell me how the game continues from now, because there is a simple tactic. So, did you pause your video? Yes, no, boom, I continue, right? Now you need to find black move. What would you play if you were black? It's a very, very simple thing, because practically white has lost a piece right away. The move is boom. What happens here? Well, this is what happens, that boom, you are getting a check, right? And once you do this, thank you, guess who is won? I have an entire rook for myself. The game is over. The game is over. So we will start to watch these games that are motivational, that are giving us good vibes to play the Leningrad Dutch, and at the same time we learn about the pawn breaks, the attacks on the king side, how to refute some attacks made by white, and let's see if this is a good idea on how to learn opening repertoire, because my memorization is not good, and so I'm trying to find creative ways to learn how to play a new opening for black. Okay, thank you very much for watching.